Back to Camel Source TV, and today I'm finally, after about 2.5 months, back on YouTube. If the camera looks different and I sound different, that's because I'm actually recording this on my phone. I just decided that might be a better idea rather than recording it on my tablet. And as you can see, I'm wearing a Star Wars The Last Jedi t-shirt because today I'm doing my totally on time, wink, that was cringy, review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. And you may think I'm wearing a Star Wars The Last Jedi shirt, so you must really love the movie. Well, I don't love the movie, but I also don't hate it. It seems nowadays that if you don't like a big blockbuster, you either, you hate it, or you love it. But this, I'm disappointed by Star Wars The Last Jedi, not because it's bad, but because it goes in a different direction to what the previous film, Star Wars The Force Awakens, directed by J.J. Abrams, rather than Rian Johnson, was taking the franchise. And some of the things set up in The Force Awakens are not treated in the way I wanted them to be. Like, who's Snoke, who are Rey's parents, things like that. Mystery boxes that J.J. Abrams is really adamant about in all his films that he likes. This is a really well directed movie. Rian Johnson, I'm saying, is to blame for why I don't like this film, as much as perhaps I could, because I thought it had a lot of potential. He directs it really well, but as a writer, I don't think so. There have been people saying the dialogue's not great. I think the dialogue is fine. I just think the things that bog this movie down for me, from like an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, which it could have been, to like a very, very low 7 or a high 6, is, although it's well directed, the plot is just not very good. There's an entire section, a subplot with Finn and a new character, Rose, which is totally unnecessary, and this whole plot point ends pointlessly. Like, you spend all this time and you create all these characters and you do all this stuff, but it doesn't build up to anything. It's not as entertaining as the more interesting stuff, like Rey and Luke. And it's just pointless. Even if it's, you might enjoy this bit, it's pointless. I'm not going to say what it is because I think that would spoil it. But I think if you have seen this film, or you haven't seen this film yet and you will go see it, you will see this subplot I'm talking about. It's just pointless, and Rose isn't... She's alright, but she's a bit too similar to Finn in this film. So, as in personality-wise, kind of quippy and stuff. And I just don't feel like she's necessary. So the action's good. There's an amazing action sequence in the middle. But there are plot holes and there are, I can't say what they are because I'm not going to do spoilers, but so I just feel slightly disappointed by this film. Because the whole subplot, which, stops the pacing, isn't necessary, and because it doesn't create anything, and it's also not necessary because the way it's created is because of bad writing. However, well directed, decent action. It's not a terrible movie as people are saying it is. It's not terrible, but I don't think it's great. I prefer The Force Awakens, and well, that's my view on Star Wars The Force Awakens. It's fine, it's good, but it's not great, but it's not rubbish. And I'll see you next time on Camel Source TV.